What's the deal, y'all? We back at it again. I am your host, Dean. And y'all already know how we coming, man. Dean, by any means. What's the deal, y'all? How y'all feeling? Hey, man, I'm going to say this again. If you could leave a paragraph in my comments, can you please hit the like and subscribe button, please? It would be much appreciated. Thank you. Oh, man. Y'all know I'm about to get controversial again on y'all, right? I don't care. I got to keep it real. Let's let's nip this in the bud now. Terrence Crawford, let me holler at you, sir. The part I have a hard time understanding is how are you upset that everybody is talking about you fighting Jaron Ennis when you are the main one that is advocating to fight Earl Spence at 147, my guy? I need some answers. But ain't nobody out to get you. You one of my favorite fighters. I have you top pound for pound. So before anybody start this video or get in my comments and be like, you hating on Bud Crawford. You mean the guy I actually paid to see fight? I actually want to see fight. My fault. My bad. I'm hating on him because I called him out on this bullshit. If he was my friend and my man's, I would tell him, Bud, stop this. He even smiling in the interviews while he explaining himself. That's when you know somebody capping. Man, but at the end of the day, bro, listen here. If you're gonna fight Earl Spence at 147, you cannot get mad at us for talking about that you need to fight Jerron Boots Ennis. You can't be calling Jerron Boots Ennis the email champ and saying that he has to fight. He should have wanted to fight for the championship when he actually fought for the interim championship. He literally fought to make sure that he is guaranteed to fight the champion at who holds the IBF belt. He could fight for it, bud, if you would fight him, but you didn't. And everybody keeps, they got to stop with this notion. Well, he got the Earl Spence fight. We already know that. All the IBF asks is that you start negotiating with that man. Because the IBF has a thing called an extension where they won't strip you of the belts. I don't know how many of y'all knew that, but they can give you an extension. They just want to know that you are in talks with him and you're willing to negotiate with him. That's the only part they wanted to know. Bud Crawford ain't make him aware of any of that. If anything, he told him that he had a contract obligation to fight Earl Spence, which they already knew. Because Earl Spence held the belt. So that's how they already knew that. Come on, y'all. Let's be real. If you're going to force Earl Spence to go back to 147 because you think that's where you got the advantage, then how are you mad that we are saying that, well, your next biggest fight after that probably is Jaron Ennis? Nah, Jaron. And y'all keep sitting up here talking about Canelo. Canelo said no. So if Bud Crawford can say no, then Canelo can say no to a guy that is 3 weight classes down from him. Or is it 4? 4 weight classes down from him. I'm sorry, y'all. Canelo actually has big fights on the table. Actually, Bivol, Boo Boo Andre, Dimitri, Bivol, Boo Boo Andre, David Benavidez, and who I'm missing? Bivol, Boo Boo Andre, David Benavidez, and David Morrell. Sorry, how can I forget David Morrell? My fault, y'all. How could I forget David Morrell? If y'all think Bud Crawford is going to get a fight with Canelo Alvarez before them other 4, you're out your mind. It'll never happen. Bivol actually beat him and still trying to get the rematch. And you think Bud Crawford's going to get it? The guy that's not even undisputed anymore? And what do Canelo got from gaining from beating a guy that's not undisputed and is 4 weight classes down from him? You know what they're going to say? He's too small. Some people just then try to give him much credit just now for the Jermell Charlo fight, saying that he was too small. So he gonna go with a guy that is known to be smaller than that? Make it make sense, yo. I love Bud Crawford. Just drop the belts and go to 154 and be undisputed, my guy. Stop talking about you are the man at the division, and Jaron Boots Ennis could be the man at the division after you're going, like you're still going to fight there, and then get mad that people ask you to fight there. You want to hold on to the belts at 147, but don't want to fight nobody in 147? Can y'all make it make sense, please? Manager Marty, shout out. Roll the tape, please. I love y'all because I love boxing. That's why I'm so passionate. Because I'm going to call them out. I ain't trying to be like these other boxing channels. I don't want no interview with you or none of that. I want to be able to make my content. And I love you, bud. Paid to see you fight. Will pay to watch you fight again. So by definition, I cannot be hating on you, sir. I have you as the best fighter in the world currently right now, undisputed, and I've argued on other people's channel in your behalf when it comes to the snack program. And anybody who's really been following me, they know that that's true too. So I can't be a hater on one way and then a supporter of you another way. My thing is, my guy, if you're not going to stay at 147, can you please drop the belt so the division can move on? Because there's a lot of great fighters at 147 that deserve an opportunity. And I don't know why you would want to hold on to them because you're getting older in age, and you would think that you would want to put the full court press on becoming undisputed at 154 as fast as possible. I mean, that's what I would do. But then you got your fans out here talking about you can't make the weight, and that's why you don't want to fight Jaron. But then you sitting up there talking about that you still the man at the division until somebody beats you. So I'm confused on the two. We all know you fighting Errol Spence next, sir. We all know that. All we saying is after that, can you fight Jaron Boots Ennis? Can you do that? If you're going to come to 147 and force Earl to come to 147 knowing he don't want to fight you at that weight class? Just saying, my guy. That's all we asking. You owe us good fights, bud. You've only put on 2 good fights in your whole career. Let's get this out the window. You have 2 fights that we were willing to pay for. Sean Porter and Earl Spence. You have fought nobody else that I have been impressed by, my guy. Not one. I'm going to say it again. You have 2 fights that I was willing to pay for. All your other fights, you could throw them on the side of the damn road with the roadkill. I don't care where you put them. But I'm not paying to see Mean Machine, and I ain't paying to see Avasnesian. I'm sorry, my guy. I'm going to just be honest with you, my guy, and I'm going to just keep it all the way 100. Listen here, you got 2 fights that we was willing to pay for. You owe us good fights. Jermell Charlo is not a bigger fight than Jaron Boots Ennis. Not after that performance he put on. You mean the performance that we had to pay for again? And him to not throw his hands and sit in there and take a beating? No, I will not be paying to see him fight. There's people down south that don't even believe in Jermell Charlo. But you want to convince me that the whole eastern of the United States won't be interested in you fighting Jaron Boots Ennis? I guarantee if that fight take place in Madison Square Garden or even in Vegas, that Shaw will sell out the arena. I promise that. So miss me with all this other stuff. That is not a bigger fight. Canelo said no. Canelo is not fighting you. Stop talking about Canelo. Canelo is not fighting you the same way you claim you're not fighting Jaron Ennis. But he's only 1 weight division down. You are 3 or 4 weight divisions down from Canelo. That's why he's not fighting you. Oh, yeah, sir. I mean, and if you is going to move up, it is a guy at 168 that did say he is willing to fight you. He goes by the name of David Benavidez. So my thing, sir, go earn it. Go earn the Canelo fight, my guy. You can't say you have earned it more than Boo Boo Andre, David Morrell, David Benavidez, and Dimitri Bivol. You cannot say that, my guy. But David Benavidez said that he is willing to fight you if you're willing to move up. Because you are out your mind if you think you're going to get that fight before him. That's his words. So if you really want to show you like that, that's a fight that's bigger than Jaron Ennis, I believe. Go make that happen. Nah, y'all want to pick and choose. It's only cool for Bud, but when we talk about Tank making big fights, is not cool then. When Tank would be the A side if he fought Terrence Bud Crawford. Just something to think on before y'all sit up here and get in my comments and talk about, well, he trying to make big money fights. Are y'all the same guys that talk about Gervonta Davis making big money fights? You know, and Terrence Crawford said he'd be willing to come to 147 and fight him, but he's not willing to come to 147 to fight Boots. Make it make sense. He could become 3-time undisputed and then go to 154 and be undisputed. We all know he's going to fight Earl Spence next. Everybody knows that. Who are you fighting after that? Because Canelo said no. So if you tell me Tim Tszyu or any of these other guys, I'm going to laugh in your face. Tim Tszyu might be a big fight in Australia, but that's not going to be a big fight here in the States. We're talking about fights that you can actually make here in the United States of America, my guy. And you are the A side with your A side self. You're not willing to go over there and fight. That I already know you, bud. You're not willing to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. You're definitely not going to fight the man where he's from. You're not going all over there. You're going to tell him to come here. So my thing is, if you're going to keep that energy, you got to keep that same energy for everybody. You got to keep that same energy for everybody, my guy. What's good for the goose got to be good for the gander, my guy. Stop faking and fronting like you're going to actually defend your titles at 147 and go to 154 and be undisputed. That's all we're asking. We're not trying to demean you. We're not trying to hate on you. We're talking about being realistic. Fight Earl Spence and do it at 154 and then go on to 154 and become undisputed. Can you do that, my guy? Because that's what you're going to do. I don't know why you're sitting up here acting like, yeah, and yeah, Jaron could possibly be the man at the division the day that I move on. But until then, I am the man at 147. That's our point, bud. So if you're the man at 147, can you please fight Jaron Ennis at 147? Because there is no bigger fight at 147 or 154 than him. Or maybe I'm crazy because I guarantee the whole East Coast will come out to see that fight. You got a whole coast that supports Jaron Ennis. And the Midwest supports you, and the West Coast supports you. So you want me to believe that the southern region of the United States, who don't even believe in Jermell like that because they feel as though he let them down, ain't gonna pay to see that fight? Am I dumb, stupid, or retarded, bud? I don't think I'm neither. Drop the belts and go to 154. Like you said you was going to do. Now you saying that's not what you're going to do. You can't double talk me, sir. I know better. I know better. I'm a very educated young man. I know better. You can't talk about being a man at 147 and then get mad that people are asking you to fight the man at 147. You owe us good fights, my guy. You have given us 2 good fights in your whole catalog. 2 good fights that we actually wanted to see, my guy. That also is a fact. Yeah, you became undisputed. You didn't collect all them belts, though. You just beat the guy who had all the belts. Got to give you your credit. Kudos, my guy. You was down at 130 when nobody was back there at 130, to be honest. Let's go over your championship fights. Do we have to do that? Because I don't want to laugh in your face about that. Congratulations. Only man to achieve that accomplishment. That don't mean you don't owe us more good fights, my guy, if you're going to continue to fight. You just became a pay-per-view star. You're 35 years old and just became a pay-per-view star. And we not even sure if that's because of you. Can you drop the belt, sir? Can you stop faking and fronting? Can we nip this in the bud? Can we nip it in the bud? I just want to know, y'all. That's Bud Crawford's words. He said he the man of the division, and that Jaron Boots in is the email champ, and that he understands where he's coming from because he was in that same position. You know, the same guy that was complaining that Keith Thurman wouldn't fight them. Him and Earl. He was even taking up for Earl then. You remember that guy that said he wouldn't fight Danny Garcia because those guys wouldn't fight him when he was in the same position that Jaron Ennis is in? Last time I checked, y'all, wasn't they the two guys at 147 before Earl Spence and Bud was? Let me think about that. Yeah, I'm from Philly. Danny Garcia was. Keith Thurman, he definitely was. Ain't he from Florida? Yeah, Keith Thurman was. Called him one Tom Thurman. He got a fight with Pacquiao. A fight neither one of you could get. So that means he was the man at one point in time. And y'all complained about that. I remember. See, these younger boxing fans, they don't want to go back to 2015, 16. They were still in high school trying to sneak out the crib. But I wasn't. I know. You know how I know? Because I bought all of them fights, my guys. Yeah, cash money. Absolutely. So like I said, y'all, drop the belts and go to 154. Or stop running your goddamn mouth about 147 and then get mad at everybody that's saying that you should fight Jaron Boots Ennis if you're willing to fight at 147. I'm just saying, my guy. You know, from a guy who pays for your fights, from a guy who got you number one pound for pound, for a guy who loves your boxing style, I just don't have to like everything you do outside of the ring. I'm a hater because I don't agree with everything you do outside of the ring. I don't agree with, I'm the biggest Gervonta Davis fan, but I don't agree with Gervonta Davis getting on the internet talking crap about that judge, complaining that he can't do this, that, and I'm not trying to hear none of that. You shouldn't have did what you did. I ain't tell you not to go in that courtroom and not apologize and be contrite and act like you sorry. I ain't tell you to do none of that. That's not your problem. I don't know how you thought you was going to get a win out of that. And you got tattoos all over your body and you're a black man in America. So either you just hard-headed or you stupid enough that you don't know no better. Either way is not my problem. Fight Boots after Earl Spence, or stop running your mouth about welterweight and what other people should be doing. Because he could get the fight, Bud, if you 40. He could get the accolades, Bud, if you drop the belts. He could. Stop acting like you're not the main reason that this is getting held up. But you're willing to fight Earl Spence at 147, knowing he can't make the weight. Even you said you was willing after the press conference to fight him at 154. What happened to that? Oh, Bud fans, I forgot he ain't say that neither. Let's go on YouTube and find out. So if you're going to fight at 147, my guy, don't get mad at us for saying after that Spence fight, then you should fight Boots. If you're going to go on to 154, can you please drop the belts and stop acting like you're going to fight at 147? Because I believe you will become undisputed at 154. I don't think it's nobody at 154 that can beat you, my guy, but I guess I'm a hater. I'm going to say it again. I do not think it is anybody at 154 that can beat you, that could stop you from becoming undisputed and being solidifying yourself as top 5 fighter ever, because 3-time undisputed is kind of hard to argue with. Deem by any means. I love y'all. Like and subscribe.